So I just want to know, answer my question first, not all land is stolen land. And second, Harry, are you willing to house the illegal immigrants that you want to have in this country? Please answer both questions.
Well, I'll start with your latter one. Okay. You're going to have to repeat the first question again, because we
do not live on stolen land completely because we have had agreements.
Wait, I'll just answer your question. Then okay.
So hold on. The last question for what's the question for Harry?
I know the question
is, are you willing to do what Maura Healey asked the citizens of Massachusetts to do and house illegal immigrants in your own home? Because she asked us to do that. Okay. I wasn't willing to do that, but I was wondering with you and your great heart.
And that's exactly the point I'm about to make. You're very easily entertained. You with the light. Very easily entertained. So you're making the point I was about to make, which is it's voluntary. She's asking citizens to step up if they want. Nobody's forcing you. And by the way, we already have programs. Be quiet. You right there. Be quiet.
The question is, will you?
I know. I'm getting to it. I'm getting. Just be quiet. I'm getting to it. If you listen.
He says he's going to get to it. I'll believe him for now.
Okay. So you don't have to. It's voluntary. By the way, we already have programs where people have sponsors in the United States of America. Those are programs that existed under Donald Trump and Joe Biden, now Donald Trump. So you can have a sponsor. This is nothing new. What your governor is talking about is nothing new. So I don't know why you're taking particular objection to that.
Because she's encouraging it. She's calling on people to do it as an active measure.
It's voluntary, correct?
It is.
Okay, great. No problem. So the government's not infringing on you. The government's not infringing on you whatsoever. It's voluntary. And unfortunately, I will not be taking anybody in because I have a one-bedroom.
Look at this. A grown kid who spends every day on the internet demanding America import millions of people suddenly discovers the most powerful word in the English language: space. One-bedroom apartment. New York City prices. Suddenly, the open borders crusader needs personal square footage exemptions. This is the moment the entire progressive morality play collapses into a punchline. Stay right here, because what comes next is even better. Harry can't even bring himself to say the word deport.
New York City. It's very expensive, so...
Hold on, you have a one-bedroom?
Yeah.
You don't have a studio?
No, I do not.
A lot of New Yorkers have studios.
Well, it depends on where you live.
It depends on where you live, but if you live, where do you live? Well, you don't need to say. I don't want you to get doxxed.
I could say it.
But you have a one-bedroom.
Yes, I do.
A lot of people have studios in New York, so you have an extra room.
No, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I don't have any space. Unfortunately, for now, I don't have any space. But if you have space in your home and you want to play into a program that we've already had for a very long time, you can do so. But nobody's forcing you to take anybody in your home. Nobody's forcing you to take anybody in your home.
Wow. To hear I live in a one-bedroom in New York and I don't have any space. That's a mansion in New York.
You're from New York. You know New York. There's no space in New York. My one bedroom's a shoebox. You know that.
Okay, man. I don't think these migrants, I don't think they need a lot of space. You give them a nice little bed. Anyway. Do you have another question?
Is it technically stolen land?
Can you speak up a little bit?
Yeah. Is it technically stolen land if you can't protect it?
If you can't.
Yeah, great. Okay. And this actually ties in with the previous question. Yeah. So, I totally reject the point you made even at the top of this, that we're all immigrants and all the land is stolen and it's all sin. And I don't really agree with any of that. Some of our ancestors are immigrants. Some of them were settlers. There's a distinction between those two things. The land was acquired in America through a variety of ways. The question was about the Indians and the Pilgrims who came on the Mayflower, which is a great cigar company, by the way. So some of my ancestors were on there, and I think that the narrative from the left that the Pilgrims came, the English came, and they just ran roughshod over the poor, sweet little Pocahontas, I think that actually does a great injustice to the Indians, because these were real men, they were real statesmen, they formed alliances. The English Pilgrims actually helped the Wampanoag Nation, Chief Massasoit in particular, to create a great political polity. Massasoit allied with them against the Massachusetts when the Massachusetts wanted to wipe the English out. Unfortunately, it all fell apart in King Philip's War when the Indians made a mistake, but these are real people. So we acquired that land through treaties, through some wars, treaties that followed wars.
It's doing.
But wars,
so some war part is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Anyway. I don't know if you guys are history buffs. The Indians also acquired their territory through the war.
I feel like that was my original. That was part of my original.
But I don't think
most places were founded through some amounts of sin.
But I don't think that's sin necessarily. Wars can be justified, and this goes back to antiquity. They obviously can be justified. So the American country was founded through treaties, through wars, through purchases. Obviously, we doubled the size of the country in the Louisiana Purchase, and it is recognized by any way you slice international law, including the law of conquest, which is recognized all the way up to 1907 in the Hague Convention. It's recognized through the doctrine of discovery. It's recognized through the United Nations Charter. So there is actually no way. I mean, it's kind of a funny thing to debate Billie Eilish, but some of the libs very seriously claim this is stolen land.
Well, look, we're not one of those libs. We're not going out there and saying stolen land.
Yes.
But I fundamentally believe on this topic of Billie Eilish that there are probably more important issues out there than what Billie Eilish says at the Grammys. I think maybe we should be focusing on housing prices and grocery prices and things like that. You'd rather talk about Billie Eilish.
No.
Michael Knowles just put $20 on the table that Harry would never answer a yes or no question. Should we deport the illegals? And watch the body language. Harry starts spinning like a broken record player. Nuance. Violent criminals only. Obama had a nuanced view. It's not a good faith question. Brother, the question is the most good faith question in the history of the Republic. A nation that cannot decide who gets to live inside its borders is not a nation. It's a homeless shelter with a flag. Chris Mowry jumps in with the classic Cato Institute numbers like a guy who just discovered libertarians exist 5 minutes ago. Meanwhile, Michael sits there calm, smiling, collecting interest on that $20 bet. This is what happens when internet activists who have never been asked to live with the consequences of their own ideas finally meet a man who will not let them hide behind buzzword. Harry's face is doing the full progressive workout, the furrowed brow, the rapid blinking, the desperate search for a talking point that doesn't require him to say the word no. He never says it. He still owes Michael the 20.
Do you think that the American people have the right to enforce the laws duly passed by Congress to have their own borders and define who's in the country?
I think.
Yes or no?
Hold on. No, because I think it's a dishonest premise.
It's a simple
There
question.
are so many laws.
But
Two
it's the
things. I
hypocrisy.
think that we should.
I'm not asking about so many laws. I'm asking about this one.
Yeah, can I just say something really quick?
Can you answer the question?
Right now in the United States, we do not have enough native-born. I'm just giving one example before you speak. We do not have enough native-born U.S. citizens to work every single job. If every single undocumented person right now was deported this instant.
I'm going to bet.
Hold on.
1 second. I'm going to bet you in the front row $20. I'm going to bet you right now $20 that he will not answer my question.
I'm going to answer your question. Hold on.
You don't want to take that bet. All right, that's fair enough.
No. I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to answer.
I'll take it. I'm going to take the opposite. He's going to answer it.
Okay.
You're
As a matter of law.
I will just please quickly. Again, there's clearly like that example I just gave. If every undocumented person was deported from the United States tomorrow, our economy, just as one example, would fall apart overnight.
Simple question. Should we enforce the law to deport the illegals?
I'm going to answer the question.
You promised me that for about 6 minutes now. Yeah.
It's very clear that in the current setup of the United States, we should allow undocumented people to have a process to get legal immigration status, and we should pass immigration reform to increase security at the border and make it easier to get into the United States legally. I think the premise, the answer to your question,
my question, or no? You're gonna owe me $20.
No,
you're gonna owe me. No, cash out, buddy. I got you.
The answer is that we should enforce laws in a civil way. And currently,
the civil way is to enforce them. It's called the civil law.
I disagree. And there's so many.
It's literally what it's called. It's called the civil law.
There's so many good examples of U.S. laws that we don't enforce all the time.
Yeah. Will you answer my question, or is Harry paying me $20?
What is?
Should we deport the illegals?
I disagree with the premise of the question.
$20, buddy.
No,
Thank you.
I believe. No.
Easiest money I ever made.
No. I believe.
Actually, that might be the.
I believe we should
deport. The blank book was the easiest money I ever made. That was a little harder.
Hold on.
Actually,
I believe we should deport undocumented individuals who have committed violent crimes. Yes. That is
Should
why
we deport the illegals? Yes
no,
or no?
I think.
No,
wait,
no is an answer.
That is an answer. I believe
it's a more nuanced topic.
We should deport undocumented people who have committed violent crimes. Yes.
So
I think there are a lot. I think there are a lot of undocumented immigrants in this country who have lived here.
I'm asking a general question.
Hold on,
I'm not asking that question.
I don't think your general question is in good faith.
It is in good faith.
It's not in good faith.
It's a more Democrats agree with until like 5 minutes ago.
You would concede that
it's simple, but I don't want you to think I'm stealing your $20.
Oh my God!
Should we deport the illegal aliens in America?
He just answered
yes
it.
or no?
I don't.
Yes or no?
I just answered your question.
Yes or no?
Wait, Michael,
believe.
$20.
Oh my God!
Okay,
I don't think the answer is yes or no.
Michael, it's a nuanced question, right?
Yes, it is.
Because I think
Bill
you might
Clinton knew how to answer it.
I think you might find
Obama even when he ran knew how to answer it.
I think you might find some people in here who would agree that somebody who's been here for 30 years has never committed a crime.
Should we deport the illegals?
Wait, Mike, you didn't let me finish. I think you might find, maybe not in here, I don't know, but Republicans generally, you might find some people who argue and would agree with me that if you've been here for like 30 years. You've paid your taxes. You've never committed a violent crime, even if you have a speeding ticket, whatever.
Yeah.
If you've given back to your community, why would we deport that person instead of giving them a pathway to citizenship? If they're giving back to America, which is exactly what we want from immigrants, why would we deport them?
Because it's the law.
You voted
and they
for a
broke
felon.
it.
I don't care. You voted for a felon. You can't talk about them being undocumented and breaking a law if you voted for a felon.
Yeah. Also, Michael, really,
Right, you right there. I see you.
really quickly.
You
He's
voted
trying to
for
save his
a
buddy's
criminal.
money.
No. I do want to point out to your point. You said it's a simple yes or no question.
You voted for a criminal. You talk about them breaking the law. You don't care about Donald
I
Trump
want
being
to
a
point out,
convicted
Harry
felon.
has not had one
Come on.
sip of his tequila,
Yeah,
and he is
'cause I-
belligerent right now. He is belligerent. Okay, we need to figure out. Do we have another question at the mic? We do. Okay.
Really quickly. Sorry, Michael.
You're not getting his money back.
I just want to point
You're
out.
not
I
getting
just
it
want to
back.
point out. Even Obama had a nuanced take on this. His take.
Well, eventually he undermined his
Hold
earlier
on.
take, yeah.
Regardless of how, let's say, Obama's immigration policy was enforced, he obviously had a setup where he wanted to only be focusing on people within like 100 miles of the border because he believed that if you were within 100 miles of the border, you just came across the United States. He believed we should focus on criminals. But if you were, let's say, in Minnesota, for example, and you were undocumented, it was far more likely that you were here with a family, you had built a life. And so he first wanted to focus on within 100 miles of the border. So if you asked,
you know what I remember? Answering your point.
If you
Obama said that executive amnesty would be unconstitutional, and then he did it anyway. So I remember, you're right, he did have nuanced views in as much as they contradicted themselves. Yeah.
Okay, to your question of should we deport the illegals, even Obama would say that's a dishonest framing of the question.
What did Bill Clinton say?
It's a nuanced question.
Did Bill Clinton think it was nuanced?
I don't care what Bill Clinton
I don't know.
And there it is. The kill shot. An actual Massachusetts voter walks up and asks Harry the question. Every open borders advocate prays no one will ever ask. Will you personally house the people you're demanding the rest of us accept? Harry's answer is pure poetry. It's voluntary. I have a 1-bedroom. It's a shoebox. Suddenly the man who wants you to celebrate no one is illegal on stolen land needs a zoning variance for his own living room. This is the left in 2026. Moral lectures for thee, private square footage for me. Michael doesn't even have to raise his voice. He just lets the hypocrisy hang in the air like cheap cologne. Harry and Chris came to play the compassion card. They left looking like two guys who just realized compassion has a personal cost and they are not willing to pay it. That is the entire progressive project in one uncomfortable exchange. Keep watching. The dopamine is just getting started.